Ladies, gentlemen, one and all, welcome to another one of those little sort of war room wrangle sort of things. Except this time it's not in the war room, it's in Unification general chat, but much like with tech support, every room is the war room. Alright, so today we're going to have a matchup of a Necrons versus the Legion of the Damned again. Yes, it looks like they're going to be making a regular appearance on this sort of a video. The person in question was actually having issues with 2v2. However, I thought it would be best to show off how exactly Necrons can deal with the Legion of the Damned. And yes, I do still have my reshade thing sort of active, so I apologise for this sort of grotty looking UI. I could just turn it off, but that involves me reaching my hand over to the to the full stop key, and you know. So, yeah, the Legion of the Damned versus Necrons matchup is actually a little bit of an interesting one, because Necrons currently do actually have a fair amount of tools to deal with the Legion quite effectively. It's just not what you would think, because your standard Legion of the Damned counters are flamers and sniper rifles. Necrons have neither. And the snipers they do get, i.e. the death marks in tier 2, are not your sort of traditional snipers that deal a heavy amounts of morale damage. So, you'll sort of have to rely on other things. And that, well, that is something that is actually getting changed in 7.0, so this is going to be obsolete by about 4 weeks' time. Or however long it is. But, yes, and that is this, your Ghost Reapers. You also have, I can't show you because obviously the UI doesn't really support that, but also Flayed Ones. Ghost Reapers and Flayed Ones are going to be your friend in the Legion matchup, or Necrons versus Legion matchup. And you'll see why in a moment, once I have actually there we go, I'm getting them now. I just noticed his eyes. Yes, he's got some sort of oh, hello. Right, so here you see Legionnaires. Now, it does decent morale damage, as you can see, but its most important feature of the, or the most important feature of the Ghost Reaper, is the fact that it can knock down. That means the Legion's warp firebolters, or flame firebolters, or whatever the frickin' hell they're called, I don't know, don't do quite as much damage. Of course, one Necron Warrior Squad is not going to be enough, so I did have to sort of teleport them back to base using the summon ability. But it did, at the very least, do some morale damage. And Legion, they don't have the best morale recovery in the world. So as you can see here, this one that we took a few pot shots at, that's down to, well, it was about 60. And by the time we've got another unit in there, it's pretty much enough to just wipe its morale completely and start the Pyromortis process. While I've been busy sort of microing over here, I've also trained, as you can tell from down here, 2 Flayed Ones. Those are going to be useful later. Yeah, getting a summoning core up early in this kind of a matchup is pretty important. Boom. There we go. He's dead. Right. So, after the 2 Flayed Ones, Necron Lord. Necron Lord in this kind of a matchup, yeah, it's pretty useful. Again, you'll see why later. You could probably delay him a little bit if you want to tech sooner, but I decided to get him now just to be on the safe side. Legion Outrider doing absolutely bugger all. Yeah, those Gauss Reapers, pretty strong. That's probably why they're getting nerfed. Necron Lord of Gara is out. I built a random Gauss turret for some reason. I managed to get most of this side, so the only thing I didn't manage to get was the central critical location. That point is now gone. Attica is trying to upset my builder scarabs. Sucks to be him. Because he's now trapped with some Necron warriors. And a Necron Lord. Hey, stop falling over. Who do you think you are, a football player? Oh, Legionnaires coming in. And there they are. Now we've got 2 Legionnaire squads here, so it's time for some Flayed Ones. Flayed Ones, for those unfamiliar with them, have a morale drain aura. Now it's not the quickest necessarily, kind of like the Flayed Ones themselves. However, because of the Legion's inherent slowness, outside of the Outrider, and a couple of the vehicles, yeah, the Flayed Ones can actually stay close enough for the morale drain to continue, even when they're just sort of chasing them. Well, they're dead. Something else I find quite useful in the matchup against the Legion of the Damned, these guys, wraiths. Now, wraiths are a unit that can actually... most of the Necron roster cannot cap. However, the Necron wraiths, or the Canatech wraiths, can actually uncapture points. So when you take out a Legion position, like say this listening post over here, the wraith can actually uncap it. Wraiths are also pretty good at tying up units in melee. They do not have any sort of jump, so they do have to rely on getting in close. However, they do have something called phase shift, which will render it invulnerable for a time. So you can get it in close, and then it'll start poking the thing in question. Yeah, while this has been going on, I've got a few things over here. There you go. Should go on, Wraith, do your job. Or not. Yeah, I've got a Forbidden Archive somewhere. There it is. And research Solar Pulse. Legion of the Damned are very heavy on the old melee. Melee? No, ranged. So, yeah, Solar Pulse is going to cripple them, basically. The only real melee units they have are Attica, Dreadnoughts, the fire that burns in the warp. I can't remember the name of it. There's later on Commander. The Venerable Dreadnoughts and the Assault Terminators. I might have missed one. I can't remember. Yeah, so while this lot were going off and breaking this next listening post, the Wraith decapped that to make sure they couldn't build another listening post on it. And the same thing will happen here. We've broken that listening post, so we'll send a Wraith, once he's done getting caught on his comrades, back to decap it, just to make sure they cannot actually get their listening post back on it to activate the regeneration, or the stability. Now, something about the Legion portal, which is interesting to note, is that... So, do you remember in the Space Marine one where I said the portal hurts units that get into melee with it? Well, me neither. But, yeah, the portal actually hurts any units that get within melee range of it. So, you would think that would be a bad place for the Flayed Ones to be. However, Flayed Ones actually have a pretty good regeneration rate, and can offset that completely. The Portal of the Damned does not do damage to Flayed Ones. It slows their regeneration a little bit, but yeah, it's generally pretty good. Especially once you get the tier 2 Necrodermis upgrade, which increases the regeneration rate of Necron Warriors, Immortals, and Flayed Ones, I think. It does require the first Necron Warrior research. I can't remember exactly what it's called at this point. But yeah, at this point, I'm pretty much just getting out. I've got a Great Summoning Core. I'm getting out vehicles. They are currently trying to get Attica back. However, yeah, there's way too much here for them to actually deal with. I have, in the meantime, sent another Wraith over here just to break this one last listening post. That's more because I could, rather than because I actually needed to do it. Yeah, I'm so focused on destroying the portal, I don't even acknowledge Attica's existence. Sucks to be him. And another Outrider comes out. I don't actually know if they ever tiered up. They may have done, but they haven't trained any T2 units. So, yeah. They're dead. The Necron Lord reigns supreme with his cohort of flayed ones and everything else. So, hey! It's a Geomod flayed one. It's spreading. It's gonna spread. So yeah, that is that's beating Legion as the Necron Warriors. And knowing my luck, by the time I've actually uploaded this and it's processed, the conversation will have moved on to something entirely different. Like, I don't know, 7.0 when. Who knows? So, yeah, that's it. That's it for this one. So, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to, I don't know, not do a proper outro and just end the video.